The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. Jesus entered a village where a woman whose name was Martha welcomed him. She had a sister named Mary who sat beside the Lord at his feet, listening to him speak. Martha, burdened with much serving, came to him and said, "Lord, you do not care that my sister has left me by myself to do the serving? Tell her to help me." The Lord said to Martha in reply, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried about many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken away from her." This is the good news of our salvation. When we see Jesus receiving the hospitality of Mary and Martha as he's journeying towards Jerusalem, and the culmination of his earthly ministry, when he will go through his paschal mystery of his passion, death, and resurrection and ascension in the Gospel of St. Luke, we can ask ourselves, why did he not say to Mary, "Help your sister"? He perhaps brought some of his disciples along, and there were many people to take care of in the hospitality that he brought to this family. And yet he said no. She should stay here with me. Far more important that she contemplate me and the message I'm trying to share with her than to help her older sister. But to understand this teaching of Jesus, who in so many other ways wanted us to devote ourselves in service to others, and who said, in the Gospel of St. Matthew, "I came not to be served, but to serve others," we have to understand what our relationship with Jesus is and how he learned to appreciate the relationship he had with women. St. Luke presents Mother Mary as a listener of the Word. In chapter 10, verse 20, a woman stood up and said to Jesus, "Blessed is the womb that bore you and the breast that fed you." And Jesus answered, "More blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it." He was talking about the beauty of his mother's life, her prayer life. She could listen to the word. And in the first two chapters of St. Luke's Gospel, Luke tells us that Mary did listen to the word, pondered very carefully what was happening to her after the shepherds left and after Jesus returned to her, with her and St. Joseph, after she found him in the temple. She was a contemplative. She was reflective. She was doing with Jesus, as she reared him at Nazareth, what Mary was doing at his feet when he was visiting her and her sister on the way to Jerusalem. So what is the message that St. Luke wants us to realize? In his life, he was devoted to the apostolate, traveling from place to place. He tells us in the 20th chapter of the Acts how he accompanied St. Paul on his missionary journeys. So he understood the tension that comes in our spiritual lives between active apostolate and personal prayer, reflection, contemplation. And what he is telling Martha is that she must respect her sister because she is trying to experience Jesus on a deeper level. And we can only be effective in our own apostolates if we cultivate, if we foster our interpersonal, our reciprocal, our mutual relationship with Jesus. We sometimes call that our Eucharistic friendship with Jesus. And so what St. Luke is telling his readers in his own day, and he's telling us in our day, don't neglect your prayer because you are actively helping others. The great challenge of a mature spiritual life, a Christian life, a Eucharistic life, is that you can integrate your apostolate with your contemplation, your sharing, a mutual relationship with the crucified, glorified Jesus, who loves you so much and is anxious for you to love him in return, the way Mary was loving him as she sat at his feet when he visited her home.